On February 9th, several of our members gave public comment, urging City Council to put the low-barrier shelter back on the agenda, and more broadly, to take sheltering and housing folks seriously, especially given the Arctic weather we were expecting. We spent the better part of last week emailing, calling, and pressuring them on social media to develop a better plan and response for our unhoused community. At best, we received copy-pasted statements about local charities footing the bill for our federal, state, and city government's short-sightedness and failures. At worst, we were met with silence. This was followed by a wholly lackluster response that included power failure at shelters, food chain interruptions, and inaccessible warming shelters. All unacceptable, especially given that we're managing multiple crises that require more meticulous thought around public health and safety.
We want to be clear. Even the best city budget and priorities most aligned with our own would not have saved us from the storm, nor would it have changed the privatization and deregulation of our power. But it could have ensured we were more prepared to respond to the fallout and, quite frankly, survive. This past year of crisis management has demonstrated how our weak infrastructure leaves so many of us vulnerable, and how completely unprepared and ill-equipped our local leaders are to improve that or respond with compassionate, data-based solutions. Make no mistake, the city has weighed the cost benefits of a shoddy infrastructure and an untamed industrial district, and has decided our water and our air quality, our public health, our disaster preparedness and response, access to housing and shelter, even amidst a climate catastrophe, isn't as important as cutting corners or keeping heavy industry in our pockets.
Because of this, our organization of just under 100 people and a couple dozen in our volunteer-run mutual aid working group has stepped into high gear in the past year. After the pandemic hit, after Hurricane Hannah, and most recently in the wake of the winter storm. Because of the devastation of the storm, paired with the inefficiency of the city and state to respond to the crisis, hundreds of our neighbors reached out to us for help, because there was no one else for them to turn to. From the connections we built serving our community, we were able to collect and send out $25,000 directly to people who were unable to heat their homes, were without potable water, and had burst pipes. We did this while attempting to keep our ongoing grocery program and commitment to building community gardens afloat. Our members accomplished this despite having the exact same catastrophic circumstances as those we were aiding. Many of the folks we provided aid to are also quarantined, positive for COVID, or high risk for COVID. No one should have to handle multiple crises without more direct relief from the state.
Of course, we can continue to point to all of the stellar work of people and organizations who have attempted to pick up the pieces over the course of the past year. But the fact of the matter remains that charities should be obsolete. Even mutual aid work as we know it should be obsolete. These serve to make up for the failures of capitalism. That we have been working tirelessly to fundraise, get direct financial aid to people, get groceries to folks who are homebound or otherwise just fill in the gaps is tragic, and it is obscene. We don't look at the work that we're doing and think to ourselves, what a beautiful testament to our resilience and grit. We look at the countless hours of labor put into trying to get basic necessities for survival to our community and think to ourselves, what a disgusting and revolting testament to the failures of our city, state, country, and this barbaric system as a whole. The function of mutual aid is not to serve this role forever. It is to pressure the state, which has resources and infrastructure we could only dream of, to do better. It is to demonstrate that workers keep this world running, and because of that, we should literally run it.